zombies is exciting, but it's not action movie exciting. I have an idea to fix that.
Hi everybody, now this is going to be an absolute beginner's guide on how to play State of Decay 2. If you're already playing and you've expanded your bases and you've done all that stuff, you know, don't worry about watching this video.
Unless we take out some infestations, we're gonna have a siege on our hands.
This video is about the basics, where you probably just started the game and you're thinking, what is going on? So this is one of my community, just standing outside moaning about there's too many infestations around about, which is a big hint about what you've got to do in the game. The characters, your characters do tell you, as do the other people in the various communities around the map. So let's go inside first. Let me give you a quick tour. You've probably got a home pretty similar to this already. So yeah, you can see my workshop there. You can see my infirmary there. And then if we go inside, what you'll be able to see is two things that are a bit confusing to start off with. You have the storage, which I guess is like a warehouse, and then you also have your supply locker, and these things are a bit confusing. Basically, in your sort of general purpose storage, this is where all your meds, food, ammunition, building materials and fuel goes. So if you look at the top left hand corner of the screen, you'll see the little icons for food, meds, ammunition, construction materials and fuel, and this is where all this stuff goes. This is where the big backpacks go. You know, like the backpack you can see my character wearing now. If I turn it around so you can maybe get a bit of sunshine on it. Let's see, can you see? Yeah, see that backpack here? That's a normal backpack, but when you pick up a special backpack that goes over the top of that one, those huge ones, this is where they go. And if we just jump into the community screen here, and then the base screen, you'll see top left hand corner we've got all the resources. Now, one of the main things you have to do to play State of Decay 2 is to make sure you've got enough resources for your community to carry on surviving. And those resources are food, meds, ammunition, construction materials and fuel. And then what you can also see there is the little screw. You use that stuff to make other things as well, and you can break things down. So what you should be doing is moving around the map, looking through houses and warehouses to find those things, and then you can bring them back to your base. So let's just, if you're still thinking, oh, what are those big backpacks then? If you come down here with me, I've kind of prepared one in the back of one of my cars. So if we go around here, let's open up this rather nutty van. Right, and see that on that orange icon in the vehicle? That is a big bag of materials. So if I take that, you'll see how it's appeared on our back now? It's that big bag. You know, you can only carry one of these at a time. So that's why vehicles are so important. And what you do when you've got one, if it's in the back of a vehicle already, you can just press
I got an offer to make you guys. Can we talk here?
let's just store that in there. If it's already in the vehicle, if you open up again, you can just press right trigger and that will transfer it to the base straight away. Anything in the vehicle you can do that. I'll show you how to do it the long way. So what you do is you go around here, you go into your base, you go up to your general kind of warehouse, your general storage, and when your character's in this area,
Another perfect supply run by me.
you press Y and then we'll drop off the stuff in there and it will get added. Now you see your supply locker over here, this has got all the little goodies in that you can store and pick up. And so for example, if you look on the right, this is the inventory to what my character Addie is carrying at the moment. She's got a knife, she's got a pipe wrench, she's got a gun, she's got a nice big backpack, loads of ammunition and some meds and some stamina stuff. In the community supply locker, this is where I could take out, I don't know what might we want to take out, like some boom boxes. We could apply a textbook there to help her learn some other stuff, but I think she's probably maxed out already. And this is where all the little stuff goes. So when you're going out on a... Hello, something going on down here. Should we go and lend a hand? Oh, well done, people. When you're going out on missions that involve talking to other enclaves, remember to take along your luxury items. Have I got any luxury items at the moment? Say... We got chemistry textbooks. No, that's not that. Here we go. So we've got a box of rubber bands that have a high trade value. So I'd make sure I take them with me, and then when I get to trade with other enclave, you can sell that for influence. Now you may be saying, what is influence? Well, if we go back to the base screen, you can see you've got that little star on the top left hand corner, which says 779, and that's the currency.
You don't want to hear this.
They've spoiled some food. That's the currency of the world we live in. So when we want to buy things, you know, off other traders, that's what we give them, and we get more of that by killing zombies, going on missions, selling things, and generally progressing through the game. Now, while we're on the base screen as well, let's go back and look at the map. And the map is really cool because this is really kind of showing you what your missions are in the game. So the most important thing, the overall way to win the game, if you like, or to get onto your way of winning the game, is to clear your town of plague hearts. And they're these red things here. These are the tough things where there's like this mound of zombie flesh that you've got to go and blow up, and it's protected by lots of blood zombies that will infect you if you're not careful. You've got to blow them up, and if you clear them from the whole of the map, you start to move towards a win state. You'll then have something like a community goals, which normally is what one of your characters will want to do. They have these little storylines they like to follow. So Pack, my character Pack, she wants a fast car. Good for her. So we could go off and do that story mission. And all you do is you can select that, and that will give you a little marker to follow. The Booze Hounds, which are a local community, they want us to join, or they want to join us, so I can go over there and chat to them. And then we've got ambient goals that appear as well. So this is investigate survivor activity in the camping trailer. So we go over there and we have a chat to people, and we'll probably get a chance to trade. So you can do all these things, but where are we?
Well, I did promise myself I'd take care of that.
But do
I'm on the
remember
way.
that your overall... See, they're all chatting away now. But your overall goal is always to make sure that your resources are high enough, with 12, with food, meds, ammunition, building materials and fuel, and that other stuff. And as I say, the primary way you do that is by exploring the map, exploring places, and you can see if you hold your cursor over somewhere, as long as you've had a look at it, it'll say what might be there, so you can go and have a look. So, we've also got our community members here. So you can see I've got Richie, Cooper, Addy and Pack. And if you click on them, you can see their different skills that they have and what kind of makes them who they are, which is really cool. And when you get them to a high enough level, you can turn them into a leader. And once they're in a leader, you then get some more missions to follow to take them through to the win state, if you like, of the game. And that drives the story along as well. Now, what we've also got to think about is our base, which is on this icon as well. And this particular base, this is like a simple version of it. You can see I've got an infirmary, I've got a workshop, and so when you go to a new base, it'll have some empty slots. Now, some of those slots you might have to clear out. You'll go out to them and say clear them because they're full of rubbish. And then once you've got them, say I've got my workshop here and I build a workshop, you can then do all these things with it. So I can craft consumables, I can craft suppressors, I can salvage weapon remains to get bits back, I can upgrade it if I've got certain skills. Obviously I can take it apart, I can add a generator to make it more efficient. And you can do this with all your things. Now, you'll notice on all these little icons there's a little bit of water and a little bit of electricity, because everything works better if it's got a water supply and a power supply. In my case, in my base, I installed a rain collector, which gives them electricity. And I could, if I wanted, you could add small generators. But if we go to the right-hand side, you'll see outposts. Now, outposts are pretty important. So if we go back to the map again, you see these kind of green areas here. These are places that I have claimed. Now, if you go to these places on the map and you go wherever you like, they'll have certain attributes. So, for example, this is the swine and bovine outpost. And once I've cleared it of zombies, I can go in there, and as long as I've got enough cash, I can then claim it. It then becomes a permanent safe area. It may well have access to the community locker as well, but it'll also, this particular one, provides me with a certain amount of food every day, which feeds into my main base. This one over here, the abandoned clinic, gives me meds every day. And this one over here, which was really expensive, this is the power substation, which gives me power to all my stuff, so I don't have to worry about generators. Now there is a cost to that, and the cost is fuel, so I'll be using more fuel. So again, we drive the story forward through that by claiming these outposts when we have enough money. Now, you'll also get to a point where you'll want to expand. Maybe you've got more people. I've only got 4 people in my community, but you might want more. And so this is where you can go to larger bases, and that's what these little forts. And let's just pick this. Say, let's pick this one. There's one here, isn't there? No, that's not very good. Let's have a look. Say this one here. So if I moved over here, I've got to think, okay, so what has that already got? It's got a kitchen, it's got an overlook, it's got 1 sheltered bed, 2 parking, it's got, and the open slots that I can change, it's got a large one, and it's got 1 small indoor slot and 3 small outdoor slots. So you've got to think, well, I'm going to need beds. Also I need 1,000 cash, if you like, 1,000 influence to grab that. But I also need to have 5 survivors in my community, which I haven't. But I could grab that, and that would give me an opportunity to add more things. Because, as you can remember, you know, in this particular base, I'm full now. I could have to tear something down to use it, to change it to something else, like a watchtower or a fighting gym, or all these different things that help your people survive. Now, while we're also on here as well, if your morale starts to drop, you can have a look and see why. Generally though, morale is affected by lack of water, lack of power, and most importantly, lack of resources. If you look at my resources, my meds are down to 2. They're all going to start getting a little bit annoyed in a minute that they think, oh, we're running out of meds. And also, what they really don't like, your survivors, they don't like zombie infestations. Now see that? That's an infestation. There's another one over there. You'll get wandering hordes wandering around that you have to take out, and they really don't like plague hearts as well if you're not doing something about them. So I should really be taking on these infestations, and once I get rid of them, my people will feel better. And then if you see in the top left hand corner, it's also giving you a tip about that. It's saying clear infestations to improve morale, and this is upgrade command center for more outposts. Now in this particular case with my base, I think I need a character that has knowledge about computers to upgrade it anymore, so I can't really do that. It's time for me to really start thinking about going to a different base. But to be honest, with my the community I've got, they're doing pretty well, and they're doing okay. Now, as you're using your community, and they get tired and they run out of stamina, always remember, bring them back. And I mean, you don't have to do it like this, but you can tell them to go to bed, or you can just switch characters while they're at home, and they'll start to recover stamina and health. But if you do need to treat them, remember, use your infirmary, and you can treat blood plague victims. You can give medical help to the character who it is, and you can make them better again. Because what will happen as you're playing, if we look at a community, let's look at somebody. All my guys are pretty healthy, but when they get trauma, say a really one you get earlier on is you'll be going up into a watchtower to have a look round, and you'll fall off by accident, and they'll get like sprained ankles, and that trauma reduces their maximum available health. So what you need to do for those guys, you have to treat them with like a med pack, or bring them to your infirmary and fix them if you like, and that will take a certain amount of time, and then they'll be better again, and they'll be healthier and ready to go out and do that sort of thing. All the time that you're using your characters, do various things, whether it be simply running around or driving or shooting or fighting or melee fighting and things like that, they will be getting better. This is very much has a very much like an RPG element, so remember to do that as well. And then what we'll be doing is we'll be clearing out these infestations. We'll be going after the blood hearts. Now remember, blood hearts are they get tougher as you go on, so be very careful. You need explosives and lots of guns to take them out. And we'll be clearing the map. We'll be going on all these little side missions, and that's how you move into like the win state of State of Decay. When you get to the end, and your leader will then have some missions that you need to go on, and that'll help you to win. But you know, you can just keep playing, doing all this kind of random stuff, this emergent gameplay that comes out. One final thing before we go any further and call it a day on the video. Always remember that if you do decide to go out and do some fighting and grab some, either kill some zombies, or maybe you're just going looking out for stuff, you can call for help in a number of ways. So if you press down on the D-pad to bring up your inventory and press right on the shoulder button, you have the radio. Now the radio is really useful because you'll see this one that says find resources and people, and you click on that and you can say, right everybody, tell me where food is on my map, tell me where medicine is, tell me where ammo is, and also tell me where fuel is, and they'll show you on the map where that is, and you can go and find it. Before you do go out though, and the game reminds you to do this, make sure you've got a working weapon that isn't about to break, make sure you've got enough ammunition, make sure you've got meds. Go up to one of your helpers, one of your fellow survivors, and enlist that follower.
Care to join?
They will then follow you around and fight with you and help you to do it that way. And also, if you're taking a vehicle out and you're going a long way, make sure you go to the storage and you take some fuel with you. So you load a gas can. That will then add that to your inventory. You can go and put that in the back of the van or the car, or even just keep it on you, so you won't run out of fuel when you're in the middle of nowhere. See, they get... I know. See, they come and tell you what you should be doing, and that is the beauty of State of Decay 2. Probably one of my favourite games of all time. I absolutely love that game. So, State of Decay 2. Hopefully this absolute beginner's guide has given you a little bit more idea of kind of what's going on in the game and what you should be doing, i.e. getting lots of resources and upgrading your base. But remember, if you've got any more questions or comments, put them in the comment section down below on YouTube. And if you enjoyed the video, hit a like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will see you again soon.